Hey guys, welcome back to the Leading Edge Cricket Podcast, episode 39. Today we're going to get stuck into the T20 review of England versus India, as well as getting stuck into the England Lions versus West Indies A versus India A, and much, much more. I'm Rob, one half of the Leading Edge Cricket Podcast, and for the first time in a long time, I'm joined by my co-host Rich.
Hey Rob, how's it going? Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Well, it's nice to be welcomed back.
Yeah, it's good. You're allowed back on me and Tawley's podcast now. It's fine.
I know. It's been an absolutely crazy 7.5 weeks now. But yeah, baby's got feeding problems. Baby's got sleeping problems. Baby's got pooing problems. We've got poo explosions going left, right, and centre, and emergency baths in the sink. It's all go.
Oh, I don't want to delve any deeper. And yeah, that's probably not the right choice of words either. But yeah,
I know. It's pretty crazy. But there's so much cricket going on around the world, and so many games being played. And with a newborn baby, it basically means that I can't cover everything. But one thing we're doing on the podcast is we're endeavouring to make sure we can keep the podcast rolling out. And a massive thank you to Chris Tall, aka Google Master, for filling in last time. I'm sure it's not the last time you're going to hear from Tawley on the podcast, as he's Warwickshire's number one fan, and Ian Bell seems to be scoring runs, and they look quite good in the T20, so I think we're going to see him back at some point.
Yeah, definitely. If I can, I mean, he's a busy boy as well, so it's a difficult one to grab him and jump back on. But we was going to do a preview of the T20 Vitality Blast, the English T20 competition, but it's been a bit tricky. So that's already underway, but we will try and get to that at some point. There's so much cricket, Rob. It's just ridiculous. I don't know how we're going to get to it all, but we just need to pod like every day for the next week. But that's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, exactly. We've got to pod like it's hot. I'm sure there was a song that went quite similar back in the day. I think the best place to start, Rich, with cricket is, rumour has it, there's wickets and there's runs in the life of Rich.
One or two, not many wickets, sadly. I got a couple today in the hottest day of the year. Thanks, skipper, for choosing to bat first. Not warm at all, honest. But I got myself a little not out the other week, 47 not out. Quite steady, looking good, I'd say. Looking good. Not being batted as high as I should be, though,
Oh, there's problems in the ranks. Get me up the skip.
It's all good. Yeah, it's fine. And Rob, I should ask you one thing. Do you know what's going on?
What is going on?
Football's coming home, Rob.
Oh, football is coming. I tell you what, you must have had some day today. You win at cricket, 20 points, and then England win 2-0. And it's got to be the least stressful game of football, watching England at a major tournament I've ever seen.
It was steady, I'll be honest with you. After fielding and bowling in the heat, I was watching it because we broke the game into two. So we started early and then watched the football at like a very, very long tea break. I could have had a little nap, I'll be honest with you. Very, very calm, very steady. Never in doubt.
It's bloody awesome. My baby woke up at 2:20, which meant that I was perfectly timed to watch the England-Sweden game. It was fantastic timing. Couldn't have timed it better myself.
Exactly. And we should just say, because it seems like you're not, clarifying it, 2:20 a.m. we're talking about Kiwi time, so
it's all about dedication. But there's a whole group of Kiwis that are Facebook messaging me every single time England are playing, wanting them to do well. I've got to say, there's a lot of football fans going on, and then you get the odd one that just throws a little right hook in that's like, football's not coming home, mate. No one's even ordered it.
Yeah, it is. It's on the way. It's coming home.
It's coming home. Right, let's kick straight into it, mate. Let's kick straight into it. A bit of cricket news.
Yeah, excellent. Let's get into it. So, just some signings just to catch up on, I think, to start with in county cricket. So, Nottinghamshire, they've had Ross Taylor, obviously, Kiwi. Big fan of big fan of you? I don't think that's the right, is it? I think you're a big fan of him, aren't you?
I could work either way, mate. You might have heard about me. You might have heard about the podcast.
He's a Taylor, so he might do. Yeah, so basically, Notts have found their replacement. They're signing Quinton de Kock, South Africa keeper batsman, for the end of the county championship running. He's going to be available for Notts for the last 4 out of the last 5 games. Sorry, so he's going to be available Hampshire and Surrey in August, and then there's a couple of encounters in September. He's playing as a specialist batsman. So he's an interesting one, isn't he? Made his Test debut 2014, scored a couple of thousand runs at an average just under 40. Career best 129. Pretty good stats, but I expected them to be a little bit better, actually. But I think he's going to be a really good signing for Notts. Ross Taylor's really kind of been the glue that's held the Notts top order together. Although they've had a pretty good time of it in the county championship, and they are sitting, I think, second at the moment. They haven't really scored as many runs as we'd hope. So hopefully he'll be able to come in and really, really help them for their running for that title.
Yeah, I agree with you. De Kock should have scored more Test match runs, but he's kind of been in a funny one with the team. He failed as opener a little bit in Test match cricket after doing so well in one-day cricket, and he kind of found himself in the middle of the order, bouncing around and back up to the top. So I think that average is something you're going to see that goes up over time. Because he's such a one-day cricketer, he's such a great striker of the ball. Strike rate of 93.98 and 13 centuries in 90 one-day games. The guy's a genuinely good player. It's just time playing the game at the top level, Test match cricket, work on that technique, know how to play the 5-day game, and no better way to kind of stroke your ego by scoring some runs in first-class cricket.
Yeah, exactly. He's a tough cookie as well, isn't he? You know, he was quite happy to try and get stuck into the Aussies, wasn't he? In the obviously the infamous South Africa-Australia series recently. So yeah, it should be good. Just to mention Ross Taylor as well. He's returned to New Zealand after scoring 506 championship runs at an average of about 34. But you know, it's not the ideal. But you know, he's done okay, and we're happy we've had him for a little while.
Yeah.
So, okay, moving on. Fellow South African batsman Dean Elgar. He's already had a stint with Surrey. And he's coming back for their last 5 championship fixtures, similar to Quinton de Kock. So the 31-year-old that we cannot describe without using the word gritty, left-hand, he scored 173 runs at an average of 34.5 in 3 county championship games earlier this season, and he's going to be an absolutely key man to see if Surrey can stay atop of Division 1 for the run-in.
Yeah. He's had a good stint. He's not set the world alight. He's not gone bang, 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 100. But there's 4 50s in there. In the last 3 games, he's only had the opportunity to play once in the limited overs games. But he's got 3 50s on the bounce. So he's just a top player. And you've got to remember, like, the scores in England at the start of the season, April time and May, were horrendous. Teams were getting bowled out for 3 figures, sometimes 2 figures. No one ever scored 4 figures, obviously. Elgar kind of held the pieces together. He was scoring 40s, he was scoring 30s, but anyone would chop off the left hand to have him at the top of the order.
Exactly, yeah, that's a good signing, I reckon. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so we've also had a couple of signings for the white ball stuff in England, specifically for the T20. Imran Tahir, journeyman Imran Tahir, he's joined Durham. That's his 4th county side, and the list of teams he hasn't played for is getting shorter and shorter. 39-year-old, he's going to play in Durham's first 9 games. Obviously, that's already underway. He played the first one against Yorkshire recently. He's a number 7 ranked T20 bowler, and he has 57 wickets in T20 internationals. Doesn't sound a lot, does it? But 237 in the domestic T20 competitions around the world, including his recent stint with the IPL winners CSK. Yeah. So he's winning. Yeah. I'm going to be horrible. I'm going to be a little bit honest and probably a little bit horrible. I don't think he's going to be winning much with Durham, but who knows? Who knows, Rob?
Who knows,
they
mate?
may do.
You place your bets right, and he's going, if I play for every team in the world, I am bound to win something. Just let me quickly do this, right? South Africa, CSK, Delhi Daredevils, Derbyshire, Durham seconds, Dolphins, Easterns, Hampshire seconds, Lahore City, Lahore Lions, Lahore Ravi, Lahore Whites, Lions, Middlesex Twos, Multan Sultans, Nottinghamshire, Pakistan A, Pakistan International Airlines, Pakistan Under-19s, Pakistan Bus Company, Redcoat, Pakistan Rising, Pune Super Giants, South Africa A, Staffordshire, Sue Gas Corporation of Pakistan, Sussex Seconds, Titans, Warwickshire Twos, Water and Power Development Authority, World 11 in Yorkshire.
He needs to kind of, I think he's ready for a move, don't you?
Oh, he's due. He's been there 3 days.
Ridiculous. More clubs than Tiger Woods, isn't it?
Oh, incredible.
Ridiculous. So after that, I thought you was about to pop then as well, by the way. So if you'd had another 10 clubs, I think you might have been on your back.
Oh, no, I was done.
Breathe. Right, Kyle Kurtzer to Northant, Scottish, the hero of the one-day game against England, or one of the heroes. He's rejoined Northamptonshire on a short-term basis. He's 34 now. He captained them to the memorable ODI win over England last month. Apparently, he played between 2011 and 2015 as well for the Steelbacks, and he even helped them win the T20 Blast in 2013. So they've got some injury issues. Rob Keogh snapped a tendon in his finger. Adam Rossington's broke his thumb. Rob Newton's calf's gone pop, so Kurtz is going to bring in, good pedigree. This little stat here, in 100 innings batted in the format, he's got 2,324 runs. That's not bad going, really. It's a decent record for the Scotsman.
Yeah, very good record. 34, 35 years old. He's been there, done that. You know what his nickname is?
No.
Costa. I presume he likes coffee.
Oh.
Insert tumbleweed.
Moving on.
Glad to have you back, Bobby. Glad to have you back.
I joke. Reece Topley, he's if we remember, we spoke about him pre-season. He signed a white ball only deal at Hampshire. He's not had much luck with injury, stress fracture of the back. Well, his season is over. We'll come on to it shortly in the tri-series between the A teams and England Lions. But he's played pretty well in that. But he's had a reoccurrence of the stress fracture. That's his season finished, and I'd imagine that's his stint with Hampshire finishes out of contract at the end of the summer. So it's a bad bit of news for him. I think apparently he was on the verge of, they were considering him to replace the injured Tom Curran in the T20 squad against India. So, he's only 24, but he's missed quite a lot of cricket, and he's had, I think apparently this is his 5th stress fracture of his back, all in the lumbar vertebrae. In only 6 seasons as a cricketer, so it's not good news for him. Obviously, somebody will take a punt on him, but he needs time. He needs time to heal and rest. It's just such a shame. England don't seem to have much luck with some of these big, quick, fast bowlers. A bit like Tymon Mills as well, wasn't it? He broke on the scene, wheels, plenty of gas, and he's just a 2020 boy now because he can't keep his body fit to play the longer formats of the game. So big shame for Reece Topley. Hopefully he comes back strong, but not good year for him as it stands.
No, I mean the guy was doing the right thing. He went down to playing just white ball cricket only. He's like, cool, I can't play 4-day cricket. I need to go down. Got a stack of wickets. He got 8 wickets in 4 games for England Lions, and you're damn right. He's on the cusp of being selected. England look at someone 6'7", quick, and takes wickets and goes, yeah, I'd like a bit of that in my team. So gut him for the guy. He needs to go away, not bowl, work on whatever he needs to do, get all the specialists in the world involved, and come back in a year's time. Just forget about cricket for a moment and just take care of your back.
Yeah, absolutely right. So a squad has been announced in the last day or so, Rob. England Lions are going to play a one-off 4-day game against India A at New Road, Worcester, on the 16th of July. So in just over, about 10 days' time, isn't it? Why it's interesting, we wouldn't probably mention this usually, but why this is interesting, let me read the squad out to you, Rob. So this is the England Lions, by the way. Alistair Cook.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. I've got your attention now, haven't I? Alistair Cook, Rory Burns of Surrey, Nick Gubbins of Middlesex. Happy to see him in there. Dawid Malan of Middlesex. Yes, Dawid Malan, who currently plays Test cricket for England. Ollie Pope again of Surrey. Chris Wokes of Warwickshire coming back from his injury. Sam Curran of Surrey. Dom Bess, Somerset. Obviously played in the last Test. Matthew Fisher from Yorkshire. He gets the call up as the seamer. Jack Leach as well. He's coming back from injury. The fellow Somerset spinner. And Jamie Porter of Essex. So that's an interesting looking squad. It's just what do you make of that, really? First Test against India starts Edgbaston August the 1st. So really good preparation for some of the Test players. And also, I think for England, we're going to go into the A stuff in a minute, aren't we? But India, this is a great summer for them. They're obviously not only playing T20s, ODIs and Test matches against England, but their A side is over here and they're playing a lot of cricket. And there's some absolutely unbelievably talented young players that are being exposed to English conditions. Yeah. And it's just going to bode well for the future for them, isn't it? But what about our squad, Rob?
Yeah, preparation 10 out of 10 for India and forward thinking of how to mitigate the gaps that we've got of being able to play on a green seamer. That England team is pretty stacked, but the ones that jump out, one, Burns and Gubbins in there is a really good shout. I'm happy about that. And I don't know the context of the game. I don't know whether it's going to be, this guy can play in the first innings, this can play in the second innings. So you might get Alistair Cook back once, and then you might have Burns and Gubbins back. Bat in the second game. Ollie Pope being in there is a damn good shout. He's had a great county championship side stint so far this season. Jack Leach, good to see him back involved. And Jamie Porter's done more than enough to warrant a call-up. He got 74, 75 wickets last year. Interesting, there's no Jake Ball. Interesting, there is no Ben Code. Those were the two that I kind of expected to maybe hear a name shout out.
Yeah, it's not been disappointing in as much you now have a baby girl. So it's not disappointing in that respect. But it's been disappointing that we've not been able to cover a lot of the county cricket that's been going on this year because there are a lot of names that have kind of come up probably out of nowhere. A lot of young cricketers, a bit like India, a lot of young cricketers that are showing an immense amount of talent and promise as well. Players that are starting to make a name, and it's not going to be long before we're going to be talking about them in international conversation. So it's a big shame, but yeah, players like you've just mentioned, there's so many players out there. We're going to get stuck into it at some point, aren't we? But it's But yeah, it's great to see that the mix of that squad. I mean, how good is that as well? That some of these guys are going to be playing with an England representative shirt on and cap on, alongside the likes of Alistair Cook. I think it's a brilliant selection.
One question around David Milan: Is this his chance? You know, he's on a really, really bad run of form for England for quite a while now. After a really good, I say really good, he had a good Ashes in a bad team. If he fails here, are we talking about a change to the middle of the order? Is that a question mark?
Yeah, I think if I'm David Milan, I'm going to be a little bit nervous about this selection, actually, because Alistair Cook's going to play. It's a fact, isn't it? He's going to play. It's just a way for him to make some runs, bit of time in the middle, bit of cricket, get it under his belt, move on to the Test series. A big 5-match Test series. Can't wait for that in August. David Milan, on the other hand, it's a bit of a no-win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if he scores some runs, great. Well, David Milan, you're playing against India, you should score some runs. No matter how good they are, but you should be scoring some runs. If he doesn't score runs, well, yeah, his place could be seriously under threat, couldn't it? And again, like we just mentioned, there are a lot of players making names for themselves this summer. There are a lot of very, very talented players. We've talked about the likes of the Joe Clarks of this world, Nick Gubbins, etc., and Rory Burns, and a lot of other players, isn't it? So, yeah, Milan, I'd be looking at this game. It's a great opportunity. I'm sure he'll be looking at it positively, but he'll also be just a little bit nervous that if he doesn't perform, he might not find himself selected for that first test in August. We shall see, Rob. That's all we can say. We shall see. So, Rob, what do you want to talk about now?
I would like to start on, because it's been quite an entertaining series. It's been on early morning while I've been feeding baby and stuff like that. Not that I've got breasts, but I've been helping to feed the baby. Mm-hmm. England, India, T20 games, 2 T20 games played so far.
Yes, England, India, T20s, the starter before the main course, isn't it? So, and well, I don't know what the ODI would be then. Just a little nibble beforehand, a little chocolate bar under the table before the main course, probably, isn't it? So, but yeah, let's have a look at this. So India have come across. They've had a good preparation. They played a couple of games against Ireland. Oh, sorry, Ireland, didn't go particularly well, did it? We will just mention that in a minute after we've spoken about England. So two T20s have been played, Rob. One at Old Trafford, one in Cardiff.
Yeah.
The first game, India came out on top. They showed their absolute class. Kuldeep Yadav was incredible. Man of the match performance. India won by 8 wickets with 10 balls remaining. Brilliant win. England 159 for 8. Let's just have a quick look at the scorecard. Jason Roy 30 off 20. Opener Josh Buttler 69 off 46. Obviously, after his brilliant stint in the IPL, England selectors decided to do what they did in the IPL and give him the opening berth. We then had a run of single-digit scores before David Willey, coming in down the order, hit 29 not out of 15 balls. Disappointing for England. It was all, though, about Kuldeep Yadav. 3 wickets in an over. Just incredible. So not everybody had a good day. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, none for 45. But Umesh Yadav, 2 for 21. Chahal, none for 34, pretty good. And Hardik Pandya, 1 for 33. But Kuldeep Yadav, Rob, 5 for 24 off 4 overs. Incredible. 13 dots. Awesome display. India didn't start brilliantly. It was they were 1 for 7. Shikhar Dhawan gone inside the first over. 4 runs bowled Dave Willey. Dave Willey? Yeah, my mate Dave. David Willey. And Rohit Sharma got on with things as well. He got 32. But it was all really about KL Rahul. Again, one of the stars of the IPL. I think he was in our team of the IPL, wasn't he?
He was.
He got 101 not out off 54 deliveries. 10 fours, 5 sixes. Brilliant. Virat Kohli doesn't play second fiddle very often, does he? 20 off 22, just sat there. Only hit 1 boundary, 1 6. Really interesting. Not required. Suresh Raina, MS Dhoni, Hardik Pandya, et al. So brilliant display. England got an absolute panning with the ball. None for 37 off 2.2 for Moeen Ali. None for 42 for Liam Plunkett. Both going at 10s. 1 for 25 for Adil Rashid. None for 27 for Chris Jordan. 1 for 34 Dave Willey. So a proper good seeing to by India. Ominous signs. We keep getting messages from our friends, some of the guys that listen to this podcast, telling us how good India were and how good they're going to do over here. it did not go down particularly well with me when I saw how badly England played against India. It was worrying.
It was worrying. England got off to a decent start there. They were 50 for none off 4.5, and then, Jason Roy managed to get out. Yadav got the wicket. But for how well Josh Buttler played, it was the lack of support around the middle of the innings. But Kuldeep Yadav was absolutely next level. I have not seen a left-arm Chinaman really bowl in Test cricket or T20 cricket for years and years and years. It's almost a forgotten art. But his ability to move the ball off the pitch both ways, bowling spin, was superb. And the two balls that got Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow were two of the best balls you will ever see in T20 cricket. Both the googly, both of them off balance, trying to play a drive, genuinely missed the ball, and both stumped. And the composure of MS Dhoni after kind of fumbling the ball off the Joe Root one, then just to whip off the bail like nothing had happened, was phenomenal. That fundamentally, yes, Rahul got 100, but Yadav changed and won that game for India, really in that third over that he bowled.
Yeah, there was two stumpings, wasn't it? And I think the MS Dhoni's first stumping was just rapid.
Yep.
Just, blink and you miss it. But the second one, he had a good fumble around. I think Joe Root decided that he pretty much, he was gone, so he wasn't going to try and get back. But, if he had, he probably would have, but never mind. India was sensational. Obviously, ominous signs going into the second T20. I probably thought that India may get a 2-0 win going into the ODIs. However, I was very, very wrong. Alex Hales only got 8 in the first game, but he got a man of the match for the second game. So to get a win for England, tied the series 1-1. Good display from England, really good comeback. They won by 5 wickets with just the 2 balls remaining. So it's a good, entertaining game of cricket. India 148 for 5. England got amongst them early. It was 22 for 3, Rob, inside 5 overs. So really, really good start for England. A bloke called Ball. I don't remember him. Yeah, anyone? Ball?
We might have touched on him before.
Yeah, he finally got to do something other than carry drinks for England or be sent back to play for Notts. He didn't do particularly well overall, but 1 for 44 is not the most attractive figures, but he did pick up the wicket of Rohit Sharma. First wicket, caught Buttler, bowled Ball. So good to see him back playing, save for 5. Darwan run out for 10 off 12. Plunkett got KL Rahul for 6. At that point, 3 for 22, you're thinking England are well on top, and that's what they carried on like that. There was a bit of rebuilding. Virat Kohli came in at number 4. He hit 47 off 38 before Willie got him caught by Joe Root straight down his throat. And then Suresh Raina, he got himself 27 off 20 before Rashid got him stumped by Buttler, the wrong un. Rain had a dance down the track and Buttler did the rest. MS Dhoni 32 off 24, the finisher, he never gets out, and Hardik Pandya as well, 12 off 10. For England, 1 for 18 for Dave Willey, brilliant figures there. 1 for 17 for Liam Plunkett, equally brilliant figures. Yeah. And Chris Jordan on 34, Adil Rashid 1 for 29. So at this point, England 148 for 5. You're hopeful that they're going to do it. It was a little bit shaky. England were 33 for 2, 44 for the 3. So they did make a little bit hard work of it. Roy went early. He got 15 off 12 balls before Yadav bowled him. We thought maybe this is going to be a bit of a return for the last game. Buttler went for 14. Root he batted number 3. He went for 9. But it was Alex Hales. He came in. He made sure that this game didn't go India's way. He got 58 off 41 deliveries, 4 fours, 3 sixes. He was joined for a little while by Eoin Morgan, 17 off 19. Johnny Bairstow, 28 off 18. And then Dave Willey, 3 off 6 to finish things off. So Umesh Yadav, 2 for 36, 1 for 19 for Bhuvaneshwar, 1 for 28 for Hardik Pandya, 1 for 28 for Yuzvendra Chahal, and Kuldeep Yadav wicketless in this game, none for 34. So 1-1. Rob, tell me, when is the next game being played?
So the next game it's at Bristol on the 9th, which is Monday.
Tomorrow, isn't it?
Oh, that'll be tomorrow, Sunday your time.
Yeah, sorry everybody. Kiwis, nobody wants to know what time it is in Kiwiland.
Yeah. So July the 8th, so Sunday kickoff in England, and it's 1 a.m. kickoff in New Zealand.
Brilliant.
And it's all to play for. It was a much better performance by the England team. One, Liam Plunkett was getting so much bounce and looked genuinely rapid with the ball. Adil Rashid's wicket of Raina was with the googly, and he absolutely did him just hook, line and sinker. Superb performance by him. David Willey was superb. the batting for England, there was one over in particular that sticks out. Kuldeep Yadav came back in, I think it was about over 17 or 18, maybe 16, and Johnny Bairstow stuck him in the stands twice playing a slog sweep. That was when I thought England can do this, because still then, they were kind of behind the rate a little bit until that over, but that was the one. They took the jugular to the best bowler that India had on the day, and he stuck him in the stands, and it enabled Hales, because Hales was just over a run of ball, gets to crunch time, he's got himself in, and then he puts, I think it was Kumar into the stand straight down the ground, and the Notts boys done good.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a quick one. When I was mentioning Jake Ball, that was actually his T20 debut. So congrats to him. Hopefully, he will get more chances with the international setup now. Quick question: Johnny Bairstow, he was incredible against Australia, opening the batting in the ODIs. He'll come back to opening the batting in the ODIs against India, I'm sure. Batting at 6 in a T20. England have got it all sorted in the ODIs. I think they've got a really good setup at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if they've worked out what their best batting lineup is yet for T20 cricket.
No, exactly. They don't know. That's the problem. They up and down. Hales dropped down to 4 to this game. It's like, why is Root in at 3? They're trying to make a lot of good players fit. You've got Ewan Morgan coming in at 6 most times for England in T20 cricket. He was a fantastic striker, not utilised enough because the top order do so well. Josh Butler should open. To me, maybe it's hard to say because Jason Roy's been in such good form, but Josh Butler's 100% got to open in T20 cricket. They just haven't found the flow of the order, and I can see what they've done by having Root there. Root's a different player to Bairstow, to Hales, to Butler, to Roy. He's a stroke maker. He's a manipulator of the field. He'll score runs in different areas. It's not all bang, 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 bang. There'll be a time when Root does need to drop down, but they're just trying to work the order out. Now, they're definitely not there yet. This won't be the final top 6 in terms of the order that they play, but it's a hell of a top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. So really good results. It's finally balanced. It's all set for tomorrow. I know what I'm going to be doing after the running around in a field in 30, well, God knows how warm it was over here. It probably wasn't that warm in the context of other countries, but today in England it was flipping warm. So I'm going to be sat on the sofa. I'm going to have my feet up tomorrow, and I'm going to be watching that, and I can't wait to see that. This will be my first proper attention completely on it. My first proper look at this touring Indian side, so I'm really looking forward to it. So roll on tomorrow. India, before England, we mentioned that they played a couple of games, Rob. They played against India. They didn't play themselves. They played against Ireland over in Dublin. That would have been impressive. Well, India might have lost if they played themselves. So anyway, India, just quickly, I'm not going to go into the details, but first game, India, 208 for 5. And then they restricted Ireland to the plucky Irish to 132 for 9. India won by 76 runs. Really, really impressive. Second game, they played a couple of days later at the end of June. India 213 for 4. I think we found the average that they're hitting against Ireland in this. Ireland in response, a pretty sad 70 all out of 12.3 overs. India won by a whopping 143 runs. Not heard of many victories in T20 above that margin. So they're well set. We've got the one more T20 game. And then after that, Rob, we have 3 ODIs. We've got Trent Bridge on the 12th of July. We then go to London. I think it's the Oval on the 14th of July. And then the 17th of July, we go to Headingley. So that's going to be brilliant. If England can get a win in this next T20 game, I think that they'll get a win. I think it'll be 2-1 to England in the ODIs. I think they'll win at Nottingham, and then we'll see about the other 2. Probably Headingley and Nottingham, I think we get wins. And we won't get ahead of ourselves in the Test series, but what do you reckon to that? Who wins tomorrow, Rob? And what about the ODI series?
Tomorrow I'm English, I should say. England are going to win. But I think Old Trafford, the last game was at Old Trafford. No, it was at Cardiff. The Cardiff wicket, T20 wicket, actually played into England's favour. There was plenty of bounce in the wicket. I don't think Bristol's quite as quick as what Cardiff was. I never really thought of Cardiff as a quick wicket at all, to be fair. But I think India may have enough to get across the line in T20 cricket. However, the one-day series that's coming up, I think England will win the one-day series 2-1.
Yeah, I think they will as well. So let's see. I think we're a little bit. It obviously could go either way. These are 2 really good sides. I think India in T20 cricket, obviously with the competition they have domestically, they're probably favourites going in. They're probably favourites to win the T20. So if they do, it certainly won't surprise me. It'd be nice if England get the win, but that'll be that. We move on to the ODI. Just quickly covering off the squads, Rob, when we get to the ODI. So England, obviously captained by Owen Morgan. Then it's Moeen Ali, Johnny Bairstow, Jake Ball, Josh Butler, Sam Curran. He's replaced his brother Tom, actually, hasn't he? Tom's gone out injured. He was in the original squad. Alex Hales, Liam Plunkett, Adil Rashid, Joe Root, Jason Roy, Ben Stokes back in, David Willey and Mark Wood. So a very, very settled ODI squad for England. India's ODI squad, Virat Kohli obviously is captain these guys. He's joined by Shikhar Dhawan, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, MS Dhoni, Dinesh Karthik, Yuzvendra Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, JJ Bumrah, although I believe he's actually gone out injured.
Yes.
And there's a replacement. I don't know if you'll be able to find that for me, Rob, as I'm doing this. Hardik Pandya, Siddharth Kaul, Umesh Yadav, Suresh Raina and Axar Patel. So exciting squads there. England very settled. England seem to know exactly what they want to do, who they want to play, and everything about that. Bowling, I'm still a little bit concerned. I'm not convinced of Mark Wood, but that's just my problem. India's squad, it looks exciting, doesn't it? That looks a really good squad.
Yeah, it does. I think we said it when the squads were originally announced quite a long time ago. We said, where the hell is Rishabh Pant? Why didn't he come over, play some T20 cricket? He could have played the Island Games. The guy's an absolute stud of a cricketer. People want to see him play. He's got the ability to be absolute box office for this Indian team, and I don't know. I'm disappointed he's not here. I wanted to see him play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That'll link us on in a minute to the A team, won't it? If we can cover that off today, to see how well he's been doing in that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Did you find out who Bumrah's replacement was, Rob?
I did not.
No, don't worry. Everybody out there will know what it is, so let's not worry about that too much. Is it Deepak Chahar, is it? I'm not sure. Anyway, don't worry about it. Everyone will find out when they're watching the cricket. But yeah, it's going to be really good. It's going to be exciting. Looking forward to that. Right, so yeah, what we want to talk about now is the recently completed, it was India A, West Indies A against England Lions tri-team series, wasn't it? A one-day cricket. England captained by Stephen Mullaney, Rob.
Yes,
nice to see the Notts captain. Yeah, absolutely. A call-up and get the captaincy as well. Obviously did really well with the North v South in the pre-season as captain of the North team. So we'll get to quickly looking into how we got here. But England Lions played off against India A in the final, and it was a hell of a game. So we shall look at that in a moment. But how did the two teams get there? So the first game of the series, we won't go into too much detail, but India A against England Lions. England Lions won by 7 wickets with 49 balls remaining. Runs for India A by Rishabh Pant, 64, top scoring. Shreyas Iyer captaining the side with 42. Agarwal, 23. Shubman Gill getting 37 as well. So some good performances there. For England with the ball, Liam Dawson, 4 for 30. 3 for 33 for Tom Helm, another name that we're going to start keeping a bit more of a closer eye on when we're talking about England. And also a wicket apiece for Reece Topley, who we spoke about, and Chris Jordan for the T20. In response, England, Nick Gubbins, 128, not out off 132 balls, Rob. Brilliant.
Wow,
Sam Hain, the Hong Kong-born Australian Englishman playing for Warwickshire, Sam Hain, 54 off 68. Decent performance from England. There's 2 for 30 for Shiv Thakur, but a really, really good performance from England to get them up and running with a win. In the second game, we saw England Lions play off against West Indies A, and I think West Indies A were the whipping boys of this tournament. England Lions won by 87 runs, 318 for 5, played 230 out. Big run scorers for England. Tom Kohler-Cadmore, 67 of 87. Sam Hain in the runs again, not out 145 of 134 balls. Really impressive. Captain Steve Mullaney down the order, 58 off 51. And Liam Dawson, 28 not out off 14 balls, at just the 14 balls. He's a cricketer that is definitely still on the rise, isn't he? So wickets apiece for a few players. Jamal Warrican and Cornwall, I forget his first name. Can you remember, Rob? They were the guys that absolutely destroyed England Lions over the winter when they played in the West Indies.
Yes.
Warrican got a ridiculous amount of wickets, did the little spinner. Yeah. We remember him fondly. In reply, not many big scores. 52 for Jason Mohammed, 55 for Rodman Powell. But England, 3 for 54 for Reece Topley before his stress fracture return, obviously, and 3 for 25 for Chris Jordan, and 4 for 27 for Liam Dawson. So England, 2 wins from 2 games to start us off. West Indies A then fronted up against India A, and India A cruised to a win here, securing a win with 71 balls remaining by 7 wickets. 2-2-1 all out for West Indies. Runs, Hemraj opening 45. I think it's Devon Thomas at 64, not out. 5 for 27 for Deepak Chahar, opening the bowling with a new ball. 5 for 27 off 10. Brilliant nice. Figures. In response, PP Shaw 27 off 16, got him off to a good start. 112 off 102. Shubman Gill 58 off 92. A nice steady watchful knock. But he got him over the line, as well as Rishabh Pant coming in at number 5, 18 off 10. Couple of wickets for Drake. I think when me and Tully did the podcast, we said I don't think he's related to Vas, but
I know. What a great name, though. What a great name. They've got a Holder and a Drake in the team. It's awesome.
It is. It's just rolling back the years, isn't it? So, right, 4th game, Rob. We're rattling through this. India A against England. So England won the first matchup between these two sides. This time, India A got on top of England. And how? 309 for 6, 207 all out for England. 102 run win for England, for India, should I say. Agarwal again in the runs, 112 off 104 even. Shubman Gill, 72 off 80. Vihari, a name I'm not as familiar with, 69 off 63. And DJ Huda, 33 off 27. 2 for 58 for Matt Fisher and 2 for 51 for Ed Barnard, who was called up during this as this series was underway. Everybody made a start for England, pretty much apart from Sam Hain and Kohler Cadmore. So bit of a frustrating one. Gubbins 22, Livingston 23, Folkes 32, Mulaney 23, 38 for Dawson, Barnard 31. Frustrating, but not quite good enough. Shiftbacker 3 for 53 and 2 for 30 for KK Ahmed, another name I'm not familiar with.
I've got to say on that one, Hanuma Vihari is one hell of a cricketer, and he's a name we're going to hear in the future, right? The guy averages 60 in first-class cricket, almost 5,000 runs at the age of 24. Plays for Hyderabad. He's played for India A, India under-19 South Zone, Sunrisers, Hyderabad. That's a hell of a record. Averages almost 48 in one-day cricket domestically as well. He's got the potential to be something special.
There are so many exciting cricketers in that England India A side, isn't there?
Yes.
We spoke about Gill, Agarwal obviously in the runs as well. Rishabh Pant, so many good players, and that's just with the bat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next game, 5th game, West Indies A against England Lions. England Lions got a cruiser of a win here. 162 all out of West Indies A. England Lions 163 for 1. Still had half the innings to go. Nothing really to write home. Devon Thomas, the captain, wicketkeeper. He's got a C. It's like a star and a wicketkeeper sign next to his name, Rob. I know how much you used to love that. 4 for 16 off 7.3 for Reece Topley. This is why it's so frustrating that this injury of his has reoccurred. This is the form that was getting the attention of the England selector. So a massive, massive shame for him. 4 for 21 for Liam Dawson as well, who was having a hell of a series. Cadmore, 80 off 70, not out for him. Sam Hain, 48 off 56, not out. The only man out, Nick Gubbins, 27 off 25, run out. Not one wicket for the bowlers. And pretty much everybody had a bowl for the West Indies. The 6th and final group match, we're nearly there, Rob. West Indies A, they've not had a nice trip here against India. India, 354 for 6, a mammoth total. Bowling West Indies at 151, winning by 203 runs. Just, top victory, isn't it? It really is. PP Shaw, a class act, 102 off 90. Vihari, 147 off 131. Pretty good going. 21 off 31 for DJ Huda. Shankar, 28 off 23. And good old Ishan Kishan, 21 off 16. Failures, though, for Rishabh Pant, 5 for 7. And a 2-ball duck for Shreyas Iyer. 3 for 70 for Holder. Not too bad, but yeah. Hemrad's got a few runs, 43 off 46, 32 for Ambris, Ramon Rai for 26, and that's pretty much all we can talk about. Deepak Chahar again with a couple of wickets, 2 for 21, 4 for 34 for AR Patel. Is that Axar Patel? I should know that, but I don't. But we'll find that out. And that took us through to the final. So India against England. It was Axar Patel. So England against India. That was the final, Rob. This is the game we're going to look at. 264 for 9 for England batting first. Kohler Cadmore 5 off 7. Chahar got him. Gubbins 12 off 24. No, didn't get a go. Sam Hain, though, at number 3, 108 off 122, the mainstay. Liam Livingston, a name we're kind of forgetting when we talk about England recognition. 83 off 82. Timely knock against a very talented India side. Folkes not really taking advantage. 5 off 13, and Mulaney 17 off 17, and then not much to write home about before the end of the innings. Chahar 3 for 58, 2 for 42 for Shiv Thakur, 3 for 48 for KK Ahmed, and a wicket for Krunal. So, could England knock off 264? Could India knock off 264, Rob? Sadly for us, they did.
Oh.
Sorry, let's try that again. Yay, India!
Yeah,
Yay, beat England! Yay! Weird sort of batting card for this one. Nobody got above 50 apart from the not-out Rishabh Pant batting down at number 6. 15 for sure, Agarwal 40, Shubman Gill 20, 44 for Shreyas Iyer, Vihari 37, and then Rishabh Pant 64 not out, and Krunal Pandya 34 not out. Strange looking card. Everyone made a good start, and they all did their part, didn't they? 2 for 37 for Liam Dawson, 1 for 37 for Steve Mulaney, and 1 for 54 Matt Fisher. Reece Topley, none for 33. That'll probably be his last bowl. It is his last bowl of the year, isn't it? So, congratulations to India. I know, again, some of the people that have listened to us for a long time out there, they're very happy with the state of this India A side, and they're very excited with the talent that's coming through.
Yeah, just a couple of guys I want to shout out about is PP Shaw, right? The guy is 18 years old playing for India A. How many people play cricket in bloody India and are super talented players and never get to play for India A? The guy's 18 years old, 11 first-class matches, average is 60. He's already got 6 centuries and 4 half-centuries. He's getting over 50 almost every single time he plays a game. He's got 2 50s in List A cricket already from 19 games, and he's just gone and scored 188 for India A against West Indies A in a 4-day first-class match in Beckenham. So, incredible player. Sam Hain, English, still only 22 years old, but averages 68 in List A cricket. 68! There's no one you can really compare it to. Liam Dawson, the guy's only 28 years old. I feel like he's been around forever since Jesus was a lad. Still getting it done, still bowling super well in the tournament. And Agarwal as well, just want to touch on him. 27 years old, averages 50 in List A cricket, 49 in first class cricket. I don't know what the ceiling is for him. He's a very, very good player, and he's had a great month, to be honest. He's got 300s in the last month, got 151 against Leicester, and then 212s in this competition. One hell of a player. And obviously, Rishabh Pant, the guy's only 20 years old, Rich. 20 years old.
Get him in. I know he's a wicketkeeper, and I know he's not going to get a game while you've got MS Dhoni, etc. Dinesh Karthik's got a gig as well. But I'm not interested in keeping wicket. Get him in the team as a batsman.
Yep.
England are there's so many talented wicketkeeper batsmen around in the world. We can't just wait for them all. Just have that one spot in the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny Bairstow, Josh Butler. There's so many good players. Ben Folkes has been talked about again. He's a wicketkeeper. We don't have to all keep wicket.
Yeah, exactly.
Rishabh Pant is such a talented player. There's got to be a way of getting him in. I don't have the answer of who comes out, but there's got to be a way of getting him in somewhere. And you really want to see this India team kind of just make sure that they are blending in the really, really young up-and-coming talents into the sides. You don't want a scenario where a lot of players are starting to move on or, at the same time. Yeah. They are doing that to a point, but it's just something they probably need to be mindful of. Same as England, same as every other nation. But when you've got so many good, young, talented players, you've got to make some tough decisions occasionally.
You do. And the guy, Pant, he can play 3 formats. He averages 53 in first-class cricket. So he's not just a hit ball, smash ball. However, he's very, very talented at doing that. He's got the capability to be a 3-format player for this team.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So a brilliant tournament that was. Really interesting. It was nice. It was just something kind of hovering in the background. Wasn't on TV, obviously, but it was really nice to see it just hovering in the background and just seeing the performances. Few people for England, putting a bit of pressure on, like you say, talking about Hain. I know Chris Tall, he's a big fan of Hain. He's done really well in white ball cricket, but the 4-day stuff, county cricket, he hadn't really done as well. But he's gone away. He's improved his technique for the longer format of the game, and he's starting to score runs as well. So big future ahead for him, hopefully. And yeah, some really good performances. Right, so we're getting towards the end, I think, of the time. I think you can start hearing pacing over the floorboards, can't you, Rob? I think it's an imminent need for a dad to look after your little one. So we're going to get wrapping this up. The last thing we're going to talk about, is just the biggest thing that happened in county cricket recently was the Royal London One-Day Cup final at Lords between Hampshire and Kent. We'll just quickly talk about this. Really interesting, really. Obviously this time, this time last year, I was at Lords. I was celebrating a Notts victory. Happy days. But this year, Notts did fall short in the quarter-final stage. So it was Worcester against Kent, Hampshire against Yorkshire in the semis. Worcester, they just fell short. 306 for 6 off their overs. 2 balls remaining. Kent came out on top. They won by 2 wickets. Hampshire, they had a bit of an easier pathway. 348 for 9, a big old score against Yorkshire. 2-4-1 all out, too much for Yorkshire. Hampshire won by 107 runs to set up a mouth-watering final. Hampshire against Kent, Rob. It was the players, it was the big names. It was the James Vince who had hit about 170 odd in the semi-final. It was Riley Russo, it was Sam Northeast against the likes of Heino Kuhn, who had also been the star with a bat, Daniel Bell-Drummond, Joe Denley, Sam Billings. It was who was going to come out on top, wasn't it? Hampshire batted first, 330 for 7, a really good score. They took the time initially. Allsop played pretty well, and then they just kept going. They kept batting. 136 opening partnership, 72 for Tom Allsop for Hampshire at the top of the order. He looked a nice player. Riley Russo there, 125 or 114 balls. Really, really good knock. James Vince, though, 23. Sam Northeast, 75 not out. And then plenty of single digits. Liam Dawson, batting at 5, Rob. So he's certainly got respect within his own locker room. 4 for 57 for Joe Denley. He is a born-again cricketer with the bat and with the ball. He's playing really well. I think his spell in Pakistan Super League did him the world of good. Yeah. In reply, Rob, Kent, 269 all out. The score was just too much for them. The keys really were the wickets of Heino Kuhn, who was run out on 32, and Joe Denley, who came in at 3. He only lasted 23 balls for his 12. But Daniel Bell-Drummond, and a player that I really like, he got himself some runs, 86 before he was dismissed, bowled Wood. So 75 for Sam Billings, captain. He tried to keep him going, but they just ran out of steam. The evergreen Darren Stevens 12 was pretty much the last line of resistance. 2 for 43 for Gareth Berg. A few wickets here and there. Liam Dawson 148, Mason Perry 153, etc. Dale Steyn as well was playing in this 156. So disappointing in the end, obviously, but congratulations to Hampshire, Rob.
Yeah, very good performance by Hampshire. Much deserved, to be honest, because that semi-final win with James Vince getting 171 was incredibly special. But I thought this was a well-paced innings by them. I've only seen the highlights of the game. Obviously didn't see it all because it would have been on 11 p.m. till 7 a.m. Someone's got to sleep at some point. And they just batted superbly, and it was the top 4 that really did the damage, took responsibility for a big final and took them home. And you look at it and you go, 330, that's a great score. Nobody blew it away. Nobody had a 200 strike rate, a 180 strike rate. It was just good batting. Russo paced his innings well, got in and then started to go. 9-4-3-6, his strike rate at 110 for his 125. And Sam Northeast, 6 fours, 2 sixes, 75 off 60 balls. So they're not setting the world alight. They've just had a very, very thorough and well-structured innings, which Kent couldn't quite keep up with. They were always chasing. They were the same. No one could really get in and get going. But run-outs it killed them. Blake ran out. Kuhn ran out. Haggart ran out. Podmore ran out. It became a bit of a farce towards the end with the run-outs, but they were just always chasing just because of how well Hampshire paced their innings.
Yeah, exactly. They put pressure on them, didn't they? And then with the wickets of Heino Kuhn, obviously, Kent are looking to their star men, aren't they? The Kolpak, the ex-South Africa Test player. Yeah. They were looking for people like him and Joe Denley to be the ones that guided them through. Obviously, Bell-Drummond got a few, but the pressure was just too much for them in the end. And that's when you start making mistakes, when you're chasing a pretty big score. 330 is not a bad score. We're getting used to almost 350 plus and 400 plus if you're an England fan. But 330 in a final at Lords is a really, really difficult target to chase, isn't it? So fully deserved win for Hampshire, and I think that's kind of all we can really get to today, isn't it, Rob?
It is. I just want to say that the wicket of Kuhn was. It was the moment of the final. The guy's got almost 700 runs in the competition from 11 games, 10 games before this one. And he's got 400. That is the wicket. When they got that wicket, the belief would have changed from the Hampshire team going, 330 is enough today. We've got this, boys.
Yeah, 100% agree with that on that one, buddy. So, so loads more cricket is being played at the minute. We're well aware of that. We want to get to it. We're going to try and get to it as soon as we can. Zimbabwe, there's a tri-series. Pakistan, Zimbabwe, and Australia. There's been fireworks now. Aaron Finch is going banzai. We want to get to that at some point, but we can't do that today. We'll get to it as soon as we can. I think the final's being played tomorrow. I think it might be. So we'll get on to that next time. West Indies, Sri Lanka. We still haven't forgotten about you. We keep making excuses, but we will still cover that one at some point. The world is moving forward. West Indies, Sri Lanka are moving forward. There are games of cricket being played elsewhere now, but we'll get caught up with that. We'll get caught up with what else is going on. Canadian T20 cricket, Rob. That's what we want to look at next time as well, isn't it?
It is. We want to see a bit of Warner and Smith playing in the Canadian leagues and just see how well they're doing. I'm quite intrigued to see how it takes off in Canada. Are the crowds good? You know, the first one may be good, but is it substantial? Does it sustain throughout the tournament?
Yeah, and there's some big names in it as well, isn't there? Bravo's in there, Shida Freedy's in there, Luke Ronchi was a star of the PSL, he's in there. There's big names everywhere, Rob. It's going to be exciting to see, isn't it? And fair play, it's great to see cricket growing in different countries.
It is. It definitely is, mate. So there's plenty more podcasts to come. Whether I'm on the next one or not is yet to be seen. It's all dependent on what the baby wants, what the baby gets. I've kind of worked my way down the pecking order of the house almost overnight. So we will be back. It will be, we've always aimed to get this podcast out weekly. Sometimes we've done it 2 or 3 times a week, but we'll be back next week. We'll be back with more action. But Rich, it's hell of a good time to be back. Good conversations, good cricket on the table. Anything else from yourself?
No, not really. Just we'll keep working on when we can get pods out. So just bear with us, please. There's a lot still going off with me as well. My little cousin that's had his brain tumor. Obviously, we're doing a lot of work with him at the moment, raising money, etc. So it's come at a bit of a bad time, hasn't it? The both of us have just suddenly been very, very busy over the last month or so. But we'll keep coming with podcasts when we can. We'll try and get maybe Torley on. We'll try and we'll always try and get somebody else on for a chat if we need to. Yeah. But we will get there. We will get back to normal sooner or later, Rob.
We definitely will. Everything in this world is temporary, my friend. But that'll do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. You guys have been legends. Until next time.